welcome to Middle-Aged Geek Girl. I'm Sally. You know, I've been actually thinking I need to change that intro because I've been doing the same one for a long time. And I know a lot of channels like to call their subscribers by a certain name, and I can only come up with one that constantly enters my head when I think of M.A.G.G. And yes, that's maggots, and I definitely don't want to call him maggots. So, yeah, I really do need to think of a cool name for my subscriber base. So if you can think of one, please let me know in the comments. What a great way to start a video. Anyway, moving on. This video today is about sharing what I've been making. Just as a pre-warning, it's me and it's my designs, so there will be swearing and strong swear words in there. So if you don't like the C word, for example, or the F word, either don't watch this video, don't look when those ones are on, or just ignore it and, you know, power through the video as best you can. I don't know what to tell you. I swear. A lot of people swear. It's not a big deal. So with that in mind, I think we'll go ahead and show what I've been making. And as mentioned in the haul video, if you are interested in anything you see here or you would like to know how I make them, let me know, because I'm happy to do videos, tutorial videos, or work with me videos, whatever you want to call them, and we can do them together on camera. I'm a river to my people, and I'm interested in knowing what you're interested in watching. So I'm going to get my cup of coffee or my espresso that Terry very kindly made me, and then we will start with the first item. First, I have been attempting to make shaker key rings. Now I say attempting because I cast somewhere around 15 of them, and I did the pretty glittery backs on all 15 as well. And out of, well, I halved it. I think out of the 15 I had done the casting for, and then the different shapes, by the way, not all hearts, but then I filled in about 9, and this is the only one I have accepted and I actually like. I know I am my own worst enemy, and I know I have an exceptionally tough quality control that I do on items I make, and that's a good thing, because I am not happy. I will not send out subpar creations. You know, not everything is still perfect. These are resin pieces. I don't have one of those degassing chambers, whatever they're called. So yeah, some of my resin pieces still have air bubbles in them, and it is what it is, but I am happy with this piece. Now it is, as I said, a shaker. So yeah, this one I'm quite happy with. It's a human heart, not a love heart, and I just put all your bits and bobbies in there. This one I like. So this one will be for sale eventually, and I say eventually because I've got to wait for the next sunny day to photograph all this stuff. But it's a keychain, and I think that's good for people's attention. And it's got a sparkly bit on the back as well, so yay! So next I made these things that I am calling thumblets. I've seen them online. People make wristlets with the silicone beads. So the idea is that you can hang it around your wrist, and it's got the keychain part so you can put your keys on it. I've seen some call them fingerlets as well, because it's the same sort of thing. You just hang it off your finger, whatever, and put your keys on it, so you can just carry them around like that. I've just called these thumblets so they fit on your thumb. Now, as I said, it's my design, so there will be swearing. So the first one says the C word there, as you can see very nicely in lettering. And this one is done textured as well, so, and fidgety, designed for those two senses, because you've got the word or the letter beads in these frames, and you can spin the letters as you need, and the frames as well. Now this is made on tiger tail wire, and these beads here are acrylic beads, but they're babery, I think they consider them, and so they've got some texture to them as well, as does the rose there. So if you like your textures, you've got textures there. And you have a suede tassel as well to play with. And it's all on a sakura shaped keyring clip, swivel keyring, and I put the extra ring on there just for a little bit more if you want to put something else on there. So yeah, that's that one. The first two I made were actually these skull ones, because that's more me. So these are both done on waxed cord, and these are like lava beads, and I don't know what stone that is, and that's, I think, oxbone carved skull. That's also got texture if you like your textures, and this was the very first one I made, and I just love it. I think it looks really good on there. I mean, I know Terry, when I showed him, he said, well, shouldn't that be the other way around? But I looked at the way they are being designed, and they do seem to be that the focal bead is always on top, facing that way. Anyway, that's the skull one. I did another skull one with this time with some pretty beads that are glass beads. I'm pretty sure they are. I've done, because I've had my bead collection for ages, so I'm going through my old collection here, and these are, you know, just pretty sparkly skull beads. So I have done a skull bead on each end on this one, facing both ways, so you can have it either way. And yeah, same sort of thing. They've got some texture to them, so yeah, if you want to rub your fingers on the skulls, you can definitely feel it. But that's for if you want to be a bit more elegant. You can use this one. And the last one I've made of these is again on wax cord, and this one I've also again used my stash of beads, my alphabet beads, and this one I've put Neuro Spicy, if they all want to face the same way. With again babery textured beads, pretty red and white bead there, and a skull on either sides, and a white tassel on this one. So that's your theme colour there, is your red and whites. So yeah, so they're the four I've made of these thumblets, fingerlets, whatever you want to call them, but basically to carry your keys or anything you need to carry around, but then you just carry them on your thumb. I did try to make them all the same size, but I think different beads, like I cut the same length of cord for all of them, but then they come out differently because of the different size beads you need, but they all are roughly around 10 centimeters long. I'm talking about just the beaded part. Then when you add ring and the hook on it, they're probably about 13-ish centimeters long, but they're definitely big enough to fit on your thumb, because I've got chunky thumbs and they fit on mine. They're not meant to be fitting on your wrists. These are definitely designed just for your fingers and thumbs. Alrighty, next I made sets. I'm doing everything in sets at the moment. That's how I'm making most of my silicone bead items. I just think that's a bit nicer. These aren't silicone beads though, having said that. These ones are actually made with the textured beads. So I got beadable pens. Now I haven't tied this one. This one can be tied down more if whoever buys it wants to. I've kept it just slightly loose so that if you want to fidget with the beads and twirl them, you can. That's the point of it to me. Or if you want it to be just solid, tight, so you can just feel the beads, you can as well. But they're textured beads. They're the sea urchin type beads, and this is your plush bead. They're so nice and fluffy. And red and yellow. I did together, not pink and yellow this time, people. Red and yellow, which of course I think is a certain Burger Joints, reminds me of a certain Burger Joints mascot, which was not my intention, but I thought it looked really nice together. And I did it with a matching beaded key ring, which is on an iridescent metal bead bar, and you get the two big hooks with it. Sorry, you get the big hook with it and the ring, as well as a little chain if you want to add something else on it. I did swap out what were the spacer beads because, again, like the bars themselves were not exactly the same size, so I've had to, you know, fill it out as best I can, using the same colour scheme at least. And again, same thing, you can twirl your beads if you want, because there is always going to be a slight gap on these beaded bars, so you can definitely get a good twirl on if you want on those ones, or if you just need it in your hand for something to rub and feel, you've got that as well. So yeah, we'll be listing these as sets. These are gift sets, I guess you could say. I haven't decided yet if I am going to do that, like if you buy one it's this, if you buy both it's this, or if I'm just going to do these ones as actual gift sets. Because most of the other things I'll be showing, there's 3 to them, so I might be doing those as individually or a group list, but these ones I might be just offering just as the group. Haven't quite decided yet. These are same sort of thing. Instead of the sea urchin beads, these ones are your sugar sand beads, and this one is definitely done for the more elegant people out there, of which I do not form at all. But I made it nice and pretty. Same thing, pink beads. You've got your textured bead there, your fluffy bead there, and your sugar sand bead there, and a matching keyring again on the iridescent beaded bar. One of those nice pretty purple tassels just for a bit of extra. And yeah, this one I had to, because the space, again, the difference in the spacing was vast, I've put 2 of these rondelles either end because it's the only way I could fill out the gap, because it's not quite right for another bead, and yeah, there was just too much of a gap without it. So yeah, you get your extra 2 rondelles on this one with your diamantes, but again, easy to spin and easy if you just want to hold it in your hand and feel them. They've got nice texture, so you've got a bit of a rough one there and a nice soft fluffy one there. And again, this will probably be sold as a set of 2, like a gift set. And with all my pens, I am sending through 2 extra refills in each pen, just so you get more than one use out of the pen. Also, you can get those off AliExpress quite easy. So if you like your pen and it's, you know, working, you just get the refills. So the next lot of stuff, or everything from this point onward, is silicone beads. So this is what is considered a chewable necklace. So for people out there who bite, like who stim by biting, or chew as they're working, because I know I used to chew on my pens and things like that. I myself love biting things. So these are the perfect type of necklaces for you, if that's what you do. Now, I put these ones specifically, I have made just as biting necklaces because there is no lanyard part to it. You'll see what I mean when I show the lanyards. And these particular beads don't have any intricate writing on them or anything like that you might chew off really quickly and therefore lose the meaning of the focal bead. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to make just chewable necklaces with some of those focal beads with writing on them. Again, it's not for me to say don't buy them type thing if they've got writing, because you might chew the letters off. It's up to the person who buys them if that's what they want to wear them for. They might just like the focal bead without the need of a lanyard. So yeah, I may end up doing that. Haven't quite decided yet, but you know, this is a good time to ask my audience if you are a person that would be interested in wearing some of these with some of the focal beads I'll show. Well, I showed in my last video, but I'll also show here. Let me know, because if you prefer a necklace as opposed to a lanyard, I'm happy to also look at making those. But yeah, so here is the skull one. I love these skull silicone beads. They're fantastic. But they're all on nylon cord and they have breakaway clasps. So as you can see, easy. If someone pulls on it, it's going to break away easy and you're not going to get choked on it. So I did that one with the teal beads, the teal hexagon beads, and this one is the skull in the center again, but with some grey beehive beads, all silicone, all for the chewing. The nylon cord should be okay as well. Again, my stuff is not made for children. My stuff is with teenagers and adults in mind. With anything, even if you're a teenager and adult, stop chewing if it's breaking apart. It makes sense. Don't keep chewing if it is disintegrating. And they should be easy to clean, being that they're silicone and that's nylon. Just really wipe it down with a damp cloth would be the way I would clean them. Those two, as I said, designed specifically just for the chewing in mind. Now the others, they're all silicone beads. These other ones I have, but I've made them in sets. Now again, I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to list them as you must buy it the whole set, or if it's just if you want one or two items from the set. These are all being designed, as I said, as a set, so they're all similar. First of all, here is the pen, and the focal bead on all of these ones is survive out of spite. Each of these focal beads I bought, I resonate with in some way or another, so I love this one. I thought it was really cool, and being it's a pretty plain bead, like it's flat ink on it, I kept it within the colours of black and white and grey. So that's your pen, and they're twisty pins. Then you've got a keyring, and the keyring is made with the 1.5mm cord. So again, there's your keyring that matches, all silicone beads. And these are the ones I'm not sure, I'm not going to take one and test it myself, but if you were to constantly chew on that, I'm not sure how well the print would stay. I don't know enough about it. Those ones would be perfect to chew, but I wouldn't chew the focal beads on these ones. But again, that's me. I can't gatekeep what people want to do. And here is your lanyard. So I've tried to make the lanyards all roughly the same size. Again, it's one of those weird things when I was creating them by the amount of beads I put on them, and the sizes all varied at the end. But up until we don't count the keyring part, so if we just count it from where it's sealed to the end of the thing, yeah, they're about 49 centimeters, but when you count the lanyard part, this one for example is about 52.5 centimeters. Now when I was cutting the cord, I think I was cutting about 110 centimeters worth of cord, but yeah, they were all cut at the same 110 centimeters, but they've all come out at various levels. This is your lanyard that goes with that one. So as I say, I do aim for more adult audiences and teen audiences because that's how we feel. These messages are exactly how we feel as adults. Again, more of the skull ones. These ones were designed with the lanyard. So you've got your cool skull one with the lanyard and your breakaway clasp. You got the matching pen. And this one I did on the beaded bar keyring, the iridescent one, because I just thought it looked really good, like the way the bar itself picks up the green in that bead is just beautiful. So again, whether or not I'm listing them as a set or, you know, buy one as you want, blah blah blah, but if you buy one, it means I don't have enough left over to make another one. So yeah, that's why I have to work out really how I'm going to do it. But that's your skull set. I'm doing the cleaner ones first, and I'll leave the two naughtier ones till the end. And I did show in my last video the really cool beads that I haven't yet to make into a set, which I will be, which was the little cupcake one, if you remember. If you've watched that video, you'll know the one I mean. Another set. So this one is your focal bead is I'm special, that's why you don't understand me. Not rude. So, but you know, it's for a bit more sarcastic tone, but I think that's great because let's face it, don't we all feel like that? Those of us who are special, you know who you are, I'm one of them. People just don't get us. So this one I made a bit longer, I think, than the other one. So there's your skull example, there's your skull beaded bar. So it just shows you difference in that, and I don't know why. And that's it against that one. So yeah, this one I made really long. No particular reason, I just think I liked the way I was putting the extra beads on, so I just kept it going just to make it, I think to balance it out, because that is quite a fat or a wide focal bead, so I wanted to make it just a bit wider. But they're all silicone. Again, you could chew all those ones. You could chew that if you wanted, but you may end up chewing the writing off. And because, again, while it was such a big focal bead, I didn't really get much on either side of it. I just managed to fit, and that's the other good thing about them being silicone beads. You can squish them down a bit if you need to put an extra one on and make it a bit tighter. So, yeah, you really only get the silicone bead or the focal bead and two little ones either side. And again, your lanyard. Now, some lanyards I have tied off, like I've put a knot there, and some I haven't. And the reason being, if you want it to act as a slider as well, if you want to fidget with the beads and just slide them up and down, you can. So that's a personal thing. If you get this and you wanted to then put the knot in there so you couldn't do that, up to you. But that is that set. 2 more sets to go. And we're getting into the Rudy ones now. So I'll show this one. It has a swear word, so look away if you don't like swear words. So this one is with the focal bead of let's keep the dumb fuckery to a minimum today. So I did this one. It's just a black and white bead, but I put some teal beads either side of it to give it some colour. Now, again, the thing I love about these focal beads, they're all silicone beads, and you buy them from kiddie supply shops, which makes me so happy that you get these focal beads, which are designed for dummy clips. A dummy is what we call it in Australia. Pacifier is what other people in other parts of the world call it, but it's a dummy. And yeah, these silicone beads are all made or originally designed to make for dummy clips so that your little babies could chew on them. So I love the fact they have designed ones with swear words on them. Fantastic. I used a beaded bar again to design this one. So it's on a solid bar and you've got your different colours there. And lastly is your lanyard. Now this lanyard is designed a bit differently. This is one where I was giving you an example. I tied a knot there so you can't slide that. This one is, as I said, a little bit different. It has a soft, fluffy, white plush bead there. So definitely not designed for chewing because you do not want to be sucking on that because it's just going to be yucky. And slightly different that after I designed it, I went, oh my God, I forgot to make it as a lanyard. So I've added the lanyard part on with a different part of cord, but it is very secure. I've, triple knotted it. I super glued the knot shut and fed it through the hole there. So it should not be going anywhere in a hurry, but again, also break away if somebody yanks on it. So that's why that is designed slightly differently. And the last one, I did the same thing because originally I thought, oh, it'd be a good chewable necklace. And then I went, no, it's not going to be a good chewable necklace because it's got a plush bead on it. No one's going to want to chew on that. Or people might, but it's not going to be pretty by the end of it, so I wouldn't recommend it. Now the last one is hilarious in my opinion. You might disagree. It doesn't have swearing, but it is anatomy. So again, if you don't like that sort of thing, maybe look away again or keep looking away. And it is this one, and I think it's hilarious. And it's a little pee-pee. It's a manhood. And again, I made this one with the idea that it would be chewable, and then I thought, oh Sally, no, you can't do that because not only is it a penis, you can't make it chewable because that's just no. And you also put a plush bead on this one, so it's not going to make a good chewable necklace at all. But I've got plenty of these left. I could make a chewable one without the plush bead if that's what people are interested in. Let me know in the comments. So this one's got that same sort of attachment on for the lanyard portion. Yeah, because it just wasn't going to work. And this one is slightly thicker. I used brown nylon cord I had instead of the same standard black one you'd been seeing through here, but it is still also breakable, breakaway, and it's 2 millimeters thick, I think, this one. but I did it on a lanyard, and it's on this nice sort of purpley coloured pen, metallic purple pen. Got your nice fluffy bead there and your penis there, and on a key ring made with the same 2mm brown nylon cord. I did it the same design, so because this is just how immature I am. I wanted to have the plush bead under the penis because, you know, pubes. That's how I was thinking. So that's, yeah, welcome to my very strange world. But that is it. They're all of the pieces I have been making since I last did a showcase on what I've been making. Let me drag everything back in. I have to wait for a nice sunny day again to photograph them all and list them onto Etsy. I haven't done that yet, but it will be done hopefully soon, or I'm just going to have to work out really well how to do the artificial light on this area to photograph them. But I do have more focal beads that I haven't made into these sets yet that I plan to make into these sets. You would have seen some of them in my last video, which was my haul video, and I also have some others that I didn't show on camera that I bought with the haul before the last haul. But that is it. But as I say, always keep an eye on my Etsy store, you know, so you know what's coming up on there. But I'd like to thank you all for watching. Leave me a comment on what you thought about these designs and the other questions I have asked throughout the video about, like, should I sell them as sets? Should I sell them as independent? Should I make these without the plush as well so you can chew on them? That sort of thing. I love to hear from you and I always respond. However, I will put a caveat on there. If you're going to leave a comment complaining about the fact I'm making these things with swear words or penises or whatever, please save your fingers. Don't bother typing it. I don't want to hear it. This is me. This is my design. I'm not making these for children. I'm making these for adults and older teens. And believe it or not, people do swear and find this sort of thing funny. So, you know, save yourself from that sort of comment. But I am open to any other sort of comment on suggestions, anything you'd like to see. If you would like to see me making any of this sort of stuff on camera, let me know. I'm happy to film the process and do tutorials with you if you're interested in learning how to make this sort of stuff as well. It is really easy, but we can do like a make and talk session together. I would love to know if that's something you're interested in, so leave me a comment as well on that. And if you can't think of anything to say and you want to leave something, leave an emoji, because that always makes me happy as well, because it's engagement and I love engagement, as does YouTube. But if this is your first time watching my channel, what a great one to start with. Do like the video and subscribe, and also hit that notification bell so you're up to date when I've uploaded my latest video. And I do have a Ko-fi and a Patreon account set up if you're interested in supporting the channel further, and the details are up here on screen. Plus, I have an Etsy shop, a RedBubble store, and a Zazzle store. So if you're interested in purchasing any of my physical items, they are on Etsy. These ones not specifically yet, they will be soon, but I do have stuff on Etsy, and I sell to, or I post to, the US, Canada and the UK, apart from Northern Ireland, and also Australia. Check out Etsy, and also Zazzle and RedBubble are more of my digital designs that you can get on physical media if you wish. All the links are in the description. Boy, this outro these days takes about 20 minutes in itself, but I think that's it. Thank you again for watching, and everybody, please stay safe, stay weird, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.